Hey guys, welcome back to my weekly videos. For this video for today, it's going to be a really quick message, but I wanted to share kind of like a strategy, this strategy that we could all implement to help us in any area of our lives. It's sort of like accountability or like a mastermind group. But yeah, I'm going to get into it right now. Okay, so just to give a quick credit for this, basically I just joined a mastermind group for business that's meeting 1 day a week via Zoom. So I think that that's how like the thought started. It was planted in my mind how this kind of came about. And then I was talking to my mom the other day about how I feel like as a family we should meet more, like meet once a week to kind of discuss our goals or discuss how we're feeling, or not necessarily that it's holding each other accountable for things, but it is a sense of holding each other accountable and then really encouraging each other. So I thought that this would be a really great idea for whatever area in your life you're feeling like you need to be held more accountable for, or that you need more encouragement in. And it depends on what that is, or it depends on who it is that you're meeting with. So for an example, the group that I'm meeting with, they are entrepreneurs. It's a Christian entrepreneur group. We're going to be talking about business in this type of group. Whereas with my family, what we could be talking about is like, imagine if you were to meet one time a week, whether it's on the phone, whether it's Zoom, whether it's in person, depending on who it is, or maybe it's just like one person that you're going to be meeting with. But imagine if you chose like Sunday evening, so it's just before you're starting off your week, at a certain time, that we meet at this time, in some way we gather, or we have a phone call or whatever it is. And then during that conversation, like for an example with my family, like we could all take turns of being like, so this last week, here is what I struggled with. Here are different things that I was feeling last week. For me, for an example, something that I want to be held more accountable with is with my spendings. So I want to share, this is what I purchased this last week. And then in terms of goals, like this is what I did last week to kind of get myself closer to these goals. And then what are we going to do for that upcoming week? So for this upcoming week, here's on my list of things here are some of my expenses for this week. And I don't want to go over this expense. Or I'm nervous, I feel anxious going into this week, and here are the reasons why. Or this week, I am going to complete these certain tasks in order to get me closer to my goal. And then with sharing that, again, sharing it with people that you know and you trust. It's not about bragging to people, like this is what I'm gonna do this week, kind of trying to make yourself look good. Obviously, that's not the point of it. But the point of it is to be able to get your thoughts out, get your feelings out. It brings you clarity. It can bring another perspective. Again, I know a lot of people don't have great family relationships, so maybe it's not your family that's the best people to meet with. But if it's something that you both mutually need, maybe you have a friend and you're both like struggling, you're both struggling with trying to eat healthier, or you're struggling with your finances, or you're struggling with dating apps or something like that. You're like running to certain things to make you feel better, whatever it is. I just personally find, I don't know how many of you guys find this, but I personally find that like time just goes by so fast and everything is a blur. So I'll mix up kind of like December, January, February. It'll all blend in together, and then I'll have to be like, okay, what did I do this month? What was I feeling this month? And then my feelings will get confused and mixed up in it as well. So I think that it brings a lot of clarity when you can share with someone, when you can check in each week, and then you're very present and aware of what your week was just like, and then what you can kind of aim for that following week. And if this is something where you truly do not have anyone that you can talk to, whether it's like a spouse or a family, or like someone you work out with, like in a workout class you do or whatever, or a friend, and you're looking to try to find people, I've suggested in the past, I think on one of my Instagram stories, about how I meet new people or like-minded individuals, and that's generally through using things like Meetup, Facebook events, and Eventbrite. And I'll basically just search things that are different categories that fall into my interests. And then within that, when you can have those types of meetup groups, then if you find someone that you click with, you can ask them, hey, do you want to be part of like a mastermind group with me? And you can call it whatever you want. I think that that's a good term. That's the one that we're using for the one that I'm in. So yeah, like a mastermind group or whatever it is that you want to call it, or an accountability group or a support group, depending on what it is. But the last thing I was going to say is if somehow all of that is just too much and you're just feeling like I don't want to meet new people right now, I don't want to tell anyone about this, whatever it is. One thing I actually wanted to say is that when we do share our burdens, it becomes half of a burden. So it is really helpful when you're sharing with people that you can trust with how you're feeling, not to get advice back from them or being told what to do, but just to simply share that. However, if that's something right now that you're not able to do, what you could do on your own is instead you can have one day of the week, let's just say it's Sunday evenings at 8 o'clock, and you get your journal out. I chose this one because it's just so cute. I wonder if you can read. There's like, it honestly has the cutest font I've ever seen. It says something so cute. I want to see if we can focus on it. I don't know if it focused, but it says, things will get better from now on. It's so sweet. I got this in downtown LA in Japanese town. Is that what it's called? Anyway, so the point is that you could set a date with yourself that once a week, every Sunday evening, for example, at 8 o'clock, whatever works for you, you take your journal and you write out like, depending on what it is you're struggling with. This is what I purchased this week. This is my goal of what I was going to spend this week. This is what I ate this week. This is how many times I worked out this week. This is what I did to get myself closer to my goals this week. This is how I was feeling this week. And then what do I want to see for this upcoming week? Okay, what are my expenses for this upcoming week? What am I allotting myself to spend? What is within my budget? What would I like to kind of do less of? Maybe I'd like to eat less fast food this week. Maybe I'd like to work out a couple times this week. And then most importantly, I think most important is writing out how you're feeling. So this week I was struggling with this, and then with this upcoming week, here's some ways that I want to try to cope a little bit better with my mental or emotional health. So that is it. That's really all that I wanted to share. It's just kind of a fresh idea that has come about, and I'm excited about it. That's really it. It's something I would like to integrate in the future, whether that is like when I have a husband, I would like to do that together. Maybe I'll continue doing it with my family as well. And the thing is you can have multiple groups. If you have time and you want to, you could have multiple groups. You can have that person that's like, that you kind of hold each other accountable in terms of maybe it's like your workout buddy, and then you have someone who is your friend and you're both struggling with your finances, and then, you know, whatever it is, you can, there's no rules here. It's whatever works for you. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, then and you think someone will find it helpful, then definitely share it, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.